really remember the voice I gave this guy. He only had one chapter. Oni 2, Goblin. Approximately 1 year passed since I was reborn into a goblin. 1 year in this world seems to be longer than the Earth, 400 days and a little more. However, because there was no convenient thing like the calendar, I didn't know the date well in the goblin's village. The growth of the goblin seemed to be fast, and I've grown up into a kindergartner, saying it as human at around 1 year old. However, that's only the appearance, and the inside is not according to it. I still only understand the conversation of the goblins in fragments, and I feel that the moving ability is weaker than the appearance. But still, it's certain that the growth is more faster than human. If it's a 1 year old human child, it's still a baby, but in my case, I can walk by myself. I think that this is a big advantage. The first thing I did after becoming able to move is search whether there's a former human of the same circumstances as me or not. I don't know what's the cause of my death. How did I die? Why did I reincarnate? Because I don't know it, I thought that there might be a comrade of the similar circumstances. But it was a light expectation. Although I tried to search for the goblins that were born almost the same period as me in the goblins' village haphazardly, what I understood from the result was there were no reincarnated people similar to me in this village. Well, it's not completely a fool's errand. Although I hardly talked with the child goblins, there are various things I understood by running around in the village. I knew that 1 year is around 400 days from the adult goblins' conversations. First of all, the goblins' growth is fast, but the intelligence develops slow to that extent. Although the child goblin that's about the same as me is a human kindergartner if it's only the size, there's no great difference in the inside with the baby. There was no child goblin who could talk. Meanwhile, I who can speak, even the baby talk, seemed to be thought to be a genius by the adult goblins. However, I'm not happy, because the thing demanded in the goblins is combat ability, and the head is not demanded so much. Unexpectedly, the goblin in this world seems to be a genuine combat species. When it's my image, a goblin was supposed to be weak, stupid, and dirty, but the goblin here breaks such an image completely. Weak. This is not necessarily wrong, just the goblins are weak as the life seems to be also short and they seem to die immediately. That's if it's an ordinary goblin. The concept of levels seems to exist in this world. In addition, there are skills in magic too. Although it's totally like a game, it seems to be common sense in this world, and the monster who reached a certain level can evolve. The goblins are not an exception too. As far as I can see, there are the hobgoblins of one size bigger than the goblin in the village, other than the ordinary goblins. When one evolves into a hobgoblin, the lifespan extends until then, and the strength rises too. Both male and female of the ordinary goblins raise level in order to evolve. It seems that the method to raise the level is only to defeat other monsters. That's why, naturally, the goblin becomes a combat species. This is because it can't live long with the short lifespan and the weakness if it doesn't evolve. The next is the image of stupid. This is also not necessarily wrong. The goblins are a combat species, and they are not interested in study so much. I think that it's probably me who's the smartest in this village. Rather than probably, it's certain. However, it's not because it's simply stupid. They fight using refined strategy regarding the combat, and they know the way of efficient hunting well. However, it's only because there's no chance to learn, and their head itself is not so bad. Rather, they who seem to obtain enlightenment like a certain training monk make me feel the sacred air somehow when I see them. The stupidity and the inviolable? I don't know. Inviolable loftiness that I can't ridicule there. Dirty has a double meaning. The meaning can be called the body is purely dirty and mean. The goblin that I imagined were weak, even though it's stupid, it's cunning, but the goblins here are rather the opposite. They were the soldiers who retain noble honor on their chest. A day of the goblin starts with a prayer. Thank the world that the goddess who protects this world, and thank for the daily bread. After giving the prayer, they are assigned to each work. The goblins who haven't evolved polish themselves, and the evolved hobgoblins engage in developing the juniors' training. And the hunting group with the power that can go hunt leaves the village. The village is in the steep mountain range, and it's a dangerous place with severe environment and a lot of strong monsters inhabit. Among the goblins of the hunting group, it's only half that manage to return, but still, the reason why the goblins' village can continue is that the goblins' fertility is high. Only this was according to my image. The goblins who returned are met and hold a funeral for the victims, and they give prayer to the food that they brought back with the risk of their lives with thanks. The goblins proceed to the death in order to keep the village alive. The goblins left in the village hand the pressed flower to such goblins as a substitute for amulet. The thought of please return safely is put onto there. They depart for a life-threatening trip and return without forgetting the thought to live, to keep it alive. They were neither justice nor evil that I minded in the previous life, but there was something that transcended it. I looked at the goblins who left, and there was something filling my heart. I shed tears without knowing it. There was something at their back that made me do so. Oh, shit. It's a goblin. Yeah, I don't remember his voice, but that's the voice we're giving him now, which is kind of like my voice, but just deeper or whatever.